Hello there. I didn't notice you there. I was too busy pretending to read this book. Yeah, so, tonight, lovely night for an evening. It is September 30th, so it's about time to make one of these videos again. And summer is over. We just had a couple of 3-day weekends in a row, which is really nice. This is going to be just a regular weekend, though, for me. So, yeah, we had 3-day weekends. The day marking the first day of autumn was last weekend, I believe, and that was rather nice, rather pleasant. We won't have another 3-day weekend until sometime in October. One of the nice things about Japan is that we often have 3-day weekends. So, yeah, it's, I think it kind of, they really force that because a lot of people, they don't take off their time off as much as they should. So this way it kind of forces people to take more vacation time or something like that, I think. I don't know, I can't remember what the reasoning behind that is, or if there even is any reasoning, but I'm pretty sure it is. They kind of want to, have people have more time off, because there is a cultural propensity to not take one's PTO as they really should, and it just leads to more stress and crap like that. Well, anyhow, yeah, summer is over. At least for me, it was actually a rather pleasant summer because it wasn't very hot at all. Several days, like I mentioned in the previous update, several days that there was, like, I didn't use any air conditioning. It was rather pleasant. So, summer movies. I have heard nothing but good things about the Top Gun sequel, and at first, when I heard about it, I'm like, it's just going to be, it's just another cynical cash grab, cashing in on nostalgia stuff, and it's going to end up being stupid. But I've heard that it's better than the original. I mean, it's not corny like the original was. It's corny but yet cool in a 80s way, I suppose. A lot of people, they like to make fun of the original Top Gun for, like, the shirtless beach volleyball scene or anything like that, but whatever. Gosh, I saw that movie when I was a kid, and my mom took me to go see Top Gun, and like during the love scene, my mom just kind of like shrunk down in her seat. It was kind of funny. And, it wasn't like really, it didn't show anything, I don't think. Maybe a little bit of nudity. I can't remember, but she's like, "Oh God, I took my son to a rated R movie." But the end of the movie was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Of course they didn't use MiGs. What did they use? I can't remember. I know, like, in the Firefox movie, they painted up, like, F-5 Tiger II fighter craft in black and with the red star to make them look kind of like MiGs. And I don't know what they used in Top Gun or not. But yeah, people, they don't want to spoil the new movie for me, so I have not seen that. I did go to the movie theater once, and I hadn't been to the movie theater since maybe May or June of 2020, and I went to go see Nausicaa, The Valley of Wind, in the movie theater, and that was a pretty cool experience. But at that time, like, every other seat you couldn't sit in, but finally they got rid of that nonsense with the social distancing crap. It was a pretty empty movie theater, though. But then again, we went to go see the one with English voices and Japanese subtitles. None of that feel around crap like you get with the 4K and the getting punched in the face or squirted in the eyes or whatever with dinosaur acid or whatever. Like, people pay big money for that kind of stuff, or the I think they even have like smell and stuff like that that comes out of those movie theaters. It's weird. I just don't like 3D. It's just, I don't like any of that kind of stuff. I just want to see just traditional movies with a flat screen. None of that crap. So we went to go see Jurassic World 3 Dinosaurs Chase People again. I can't remember what it's called, but here's my movie review of Jurassic World 3. In Jurassic World 3, people chased by dinosaurs. Tim Cook stars as himself, up to his evil ways as always. But this time, he's now somehow the CEO of Monsanto, which has managed to resurrect prehistoric locusts through the powers of science, which destroy non-GMO crops, and evil-ass Tim Cook thinks that people won't catch on to this, even though it's abundantly obvious what's going on. The movie once again stars Chris Pratt and the girl who is not Kirsten Dunst, who are living in the wilderness with that clone girl from the second movie. Oh yeah, the dinosaurs somehow don't mind living in snow country either. Kind of like Arctic alligators at this point, I guess. Funny how that works. Again, science! In just a few short years, the dinosaur population suddenly exploded and has managed to somehow go across the entire world. And even though there's like that gibungus thing that can eat whales or something, I mean, the thing is like just ginormously gibungus, and they kind of like to show that in these movies, but then they just nothing ever really happens with it, so they're just kind of teasing you with it, but then they just kind of forget about it. I don't know what's going on with that. Well, anyhow, Girl Prime, the clone girl, I guess, whatever her name is, she gets kidnapped by the agents of the Clinton Foundation or something, along with their dinosaur friend's baby, the Blue, or whatever that dinosaur's name is. Of course, the dinosaur can reproduce asexually. They end up trying to track this girl down, and they end up in a dinosaur black market in Malta, which I thought was pretty cool. People kind of said that this part of the movie was dumb, but I thought it was kind of cool. And of course they get chased by dinosaurs, parkour style. There's nothing better than watching parkour dinosaurs, I think. They end up trying to sneak into Tim Cook's evil dominion of dinosaurs, only to be chased by more dinosaurs, where they meet the cast of the very first Jurassic Park movie, and I think that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, and it's like a total cashless society within this Tim Cook evil utopia. So yeah, there's no cash. It's just all like bracelets or something or other. Oh yeah, and they find out that this girl, she's actually not a clone, but like she's the daughter of one of the Jurassic Park scientists who was somehow able to reproduce asexually. So yeah, she just knocked herself up because science. Don't ask how. And then something else happens, I think, and they rescue the baby dinosaur. They rescue the girl, and then everybody's able to escape. And we also get the pleasure of watching Tim Cook getting killed by dinosaurs, which is real neat. So that is my review of Jurassic World 3, People Chased by Dinosaurs Again. Yeah, I do not go into any Jurassic Park movie expecting like something that's like really awesome story-wise or whatever. You know, if they show some dinosaurs running around, and I guess I don't have very high standards, and some people really take those Jurassic Park movies very seriously, but Yeah, whatever. Like, wasn't Malcolm? I never read the books, but I think Malcolm, he dies in the first book or something like that. But yeah, he's like the main character of the second movie. But there was only 2 books ever written, right? So, yeah, whatever. It was really cool that they had the original cast come back together in one last movie. Hopefully, it's the last movie. I don't know, but it was fun. It was great. I'd rather watch that than the Obi-Wan show. I, oh my gosh. Uh, I I know enough of it that I'm not even gonna bother watching it. The Boba Fett movie or TV show, I didn't really feel like watching it, but I mean, there was enjoyable parts to it. It was dumb, but this Obi-Wan movie, or show I should say, it like totally destroys continuity with A New Hope. And apparently they try, okay, there's one episode in which 2 adults and a child get into the back gunner seat of a snowspeeder, which is just, I mean, what they're called, the T-47 air speeders or something like that. And I always thought that that was just like a makeshift fighter that they made to use on Hoth, but it really wasn't meant to be. I don't even know if the original airspeeder is even supposed to have guns on it. It's just supposed to be like for, like, you know, towing cargo, you know, like anti-gravity cargo pods and stuff like that, I guess. But it gets introduced in this show for some reason, and oh my gosh. But then there's this Darth Sissy Pants, whatever her name is, that everybody's pissed off about, and then Lucasfilm just sneers at everybody and calls them racist, and they even had Ewan McGregor, you know, do a car video and sneering at fans and telling them that they're all racists. And like, okay, so if Star Wars fans are so racist, are these the same Star Wars fans who were so racist when were they complaining about Carl Weathers being in the Mandalorian? No, nobody ever complained about that. I was like, dude, Carl Weathers, oh my gosh, you know, he was in Predator, he was in, you know, Force 10 from Navarone with Harrison Ford and stuff. You know, it's like, Carl Weathers, dude, he's awesome, dude. Oh my gosh, Carl Weathers, all right, yes. Those same people are racists. I mean, it's just dumb, but that's just what they do. They just denigrate fans. Stupid, very stupid. So, golly, yeah, well, I guess I'll get started showing stuff. I have had videos being blocked in some countries. So, get this. I think it's UMG Music Service or something like that. They're blocking some of my, what was it, my Phantom, F4 Phantom, the old Legacy Hasegawa kit from the 70s. I had used Bubblegum Crisis music in those movies, like in the beginning of each of those videos, and they're now being blocked in Russia and Belarus, or however you say that country's name. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's lay down our arms. Let's stop, you know, defeating these Nazis in Ukraine who are working on biological weapons. Oh, we got to stop our attack because we can't watch some videos on YouTube, right? It's like, well, that'll demoralize them. They won't be able to see Greg's videos on YouTube. Ha ha ha, that'll show those Russians. Stupid. Go to Odysee, guys. I swear, if everybody just goes to Odysee, it's like like that analogy of the at the end of Finding Nemo. Like if all of the fish just swim down, they'll break the net and then they're free, right? But I know YouTube is a comfort zone for people, and it's like, I mean, I've been on here for 14 years, I think. My first video I uploaded was my house that I had in North Phoenix, and I was just showing off my like my old nerd room, my man cave. I had like the closet full of plastic models, and I was showing like all my anime figures and video games and stuff. That was the very first episode, or the very first video I uploaded to YouTube in 2008, and I guess I've been doing it since then. But explore other things, and I'm not talking about Instagram or whatever. It's like freaking, like, okay, so I really appreciate people leaving me comments. One guy who leaves lots of comments on my videos and such is a guy named Max, and from my dashboard view I can see his comment, but when I go to the actual source, his comment isn't there. It just did not show any comments. And so what I did was I searched from, like, I selected most recent comments, and then it appears. But if you have top comments, it's not there. So YouTube kind of just sweeps comments under the rug like that. So I pinned his comment to override that. It's ridiculous. Stupid. I'm just really, really fed up with YouTube. And I mean, I don't want to say, oh, it deserves to go the way of MySpace, right? Because, I mean, to be fair, MySpace didn't really have to go the way of MySpace, because MySpace was originally for musicians to network and to put their music out. And like, what, freaking Linkin Park got their start from MySpace. It wasn't meant to, like, oh, hi, this is my family, and this is my dog puking on the carpet, and we went to Hawaii last month. That was not what ever MySpace was supposed to be. And then DARPA LifeLog, which just, like, you know, suddenly just became Facebook, and then the front man, Mark Zuckerberg. Oh yeah, I totally invented Facebook. Yeah, right. He's a phony, just like Bill Gates is. But Facebook provided an actual way for networking and, you know, meeting people and showing pictures of what they had for lunch and boring crap like that. And then MySpace was never really intended to be that way. So that's why there was like this huge rise and fall, and it gets a bad reputation, but I don't think it's really deserved to be like that. I guess it's still around. I don't know. I don't look at that kind of stuff really, but I've never had an Wait, no. I signed up for Instagram once, but it was on accident because I kept getting it confused with photo. What's it called? Pinterest. For some reason, I kept getting Pinterest confused with Instagram for some reason. When I worked at Aoshima, I was forced to sign up for Facebook because I had to maintain the English Facebook page, which I don't even, because I'm not on Facebook anymore. I don't even know if it's still even being updated or not. But yeah, when I quit that job, I terminated my Facebook account, and like the reasons why, I'm like, you know, I said like Mark Zuckerpunch can kiss my butt or something or other. So anyhow, gosh, what was I saying? Yeah, check out Odysee. I just can't say that enough, and I'm always happy. Like GameSack, they are on Odysee as well, right? So I keep finding these really cool channels that are at least they're being mirrored on Odysee and such, and it's just a nicer experience. We don't have like all the terrible censorship and all that kind of crap that's going on, and I don't get these freaking copyright claims either. This bullcrap stuff with like that the laughing Mexican guy, like I mentioned, I think in the June update. These phony BS copyright claims. Just anybody can do that and ruin other people's stuff. You don't get that on Odysee. Maybe down the road you might, I suppose, but these people are learning from YouTube's mistakes, and yeah, give them a shot. And I'd be happy if you could watch my videos on that platform instead. And I gotta say that I am doing more build videos on Odysee that you will not see here. Like, for example, like I'm doing this Blue Streak model on Odysee only, and gosh, what else? I'm doing the Hasegawa P38 Lightning, as I think it's the P38J, and this is what I've gotten done so far, and yeah, you won't see that stuff on YouTube because YouTube kind of sucks. Well, now, yeah, Russia and Belarus, they're like, oh crap, we can't watch Greg's videos. We need to pull out of Ukraine immediately and let them go back to, well, they still are shelling the people of Donetsk and Luhansk. It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. I shouldn't be punished for stuff I have nothing to do with, right? Dumb. Very dumb. And, anyhow, yeah, so I do have some neat stuff. Gosh, yeah, speaking of watching stuff, hold on, let me reset this here. Ah, there we go. I don't want to run out of time. Speaking of watching stuff, I found some anime fan sub stuff on YouTube, like Dorvac. I wanted to watch that, and over the summer, I think it was in August, I put in a pre-order, or not a pre-order, I ordered the Dorvac Blu-ray set on rightstuff.com, because I try to avoid buying stuff on Amazon if I can, but Right Stuff, like, I had even bought something and had it shipped to my friend in Arizona, and then when I tried to buy the Dorvac Blu-rays, they wanted to confirm my identity, and they wanted to like do like a temporary charge on my Japanese credit card, and then for me to look that up and then tell them what that amount was. But I'm like, Japanese credit cards don't work like that. You don't see like up to date, and you don't see any pending transactions section. It doesn't work like that. And so they ended up canceling my account, or not my account, but they canceled my order, and I was kind of pissed off about that. I found some episodes on YouTube though, and I started watching those. That was kind of cool. And I've been watching Sonic Soldier Borgman. Now, I had watched Zillion. I have that on Blu-ray. I finished watching that finally a few months ago, and I noticed there's a bit of a similarity in between those two anime shows, and there's a really cool channel on Odysee, GTV, and this guy, I guess he has a big YouTube channel, but he's somehow he's pretty successful in getting his audience to watch his videos on Odysee instead, and he gets a lot of views. And anyhow, he did this video on Borgman, and it was basically like a spiritual successor to Zillion. So I'm happy with just watching stuff like that. I really could not care less about what Hollywood is doing, like She-Hulk. You know, I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, but are women, are they really in such constant peril of being like sexually harassed no matter where they go and stuff. It's just it's dumb. Japanese teachers I work with at one school, my junior high school, I've you know, met some these nerdy teacher guys, right? They really know a lot of stuff, and this one guy, he was telling me like he's not at all impressed with She-Hulk and all this kind of stuff, and he's picking up on this whole this preachy American politics stuff that they just kind of cram into these movies and such, or the TV shows, and people are just getting tired of that. It's dumb. So anyhow, well, I guess I've rambled enough. How about if I show you some stuff? I am nearly done. Well, okay, so I have finished, and you're not going to see this on YouTube. I have finished this Eggplant Girl, Hakurinfa, and you're going to see that on Odysee. And this Mikumo, what's her name again? I forget. In the skimpy ninja outfit. Video 2 of this should be coming really soon. There's like maybe a couple of like little things I want to do to that. Then I'm done with that. So I will have that on YouTube. But also, of course, everything is also on Odysee as well. Also, I'm working on the Hakurinfa in a China dress. This is also going to be Odysee exclusive. Working on almost complete, almost have it finished, is the Phantom, the RF4E, finally. I finished decaling the bottom part of that. I have nearly completed the dirty pair. What I want to do is kind of polish this a little bit, because I can see like a little bit of like some specks that were in the clear coat that I would like to kind of smooth down. The figures are mostly painted up, but yeah, I need to assemble their hair and stuff like that. The A-wing, it's been done for a long time. I just need to solder the wires on that. I just haven't gotten around to doing that. I just haven't been in the mood for soldering. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of completed videos real soon, including this. So what I'm going to do, and maybe it's not always apparent to people, so I'm not building like that stupid vacuum form base, that the Hoth base. What I'm gonna do is like have this guy in the back, and then I'm gonna have like the Millennium Falcon flying in front of it. These are not to scale with each other, by the way, which is unfortunate, but you know, whatever. And then I'm going to have 5, count them, 5 X-Wings. And I have them all done up with different decals, right? Like, what number is this? Is red 4. So I did my own custom design for that, because it, you know, I envision this diorama as like after the events of A New Hope, right? I'm just going to have them just kind of flying in formation. You know, they're not going to be on the ground. I have these attached copper pipes and the wiring, and they're all going to be lit up, and it's going to look neat. I really do hope. And so far, I think they do look neat. I need to finish this the AT-AT diorama too. Golly, I have. I just haven't been in the mood, but yeah, I do want to finish this guy. All right, I have all those little soldiers painted up and everything on that. So gosh, not a whole lot of acquisitions. So I guess this is going to be kind of a short video. Let me show what I got here.
I feel plastic. Hey, hey, hey.
So I've been recently watching Sonic Soldier Borgman on YouTube. There are some kind of shoddy dubs, but you know, it's not that difficult of an anime to understand in Japanese for me, so I can kind of understand it without the subtitles, and I just got the subtitles to kind of fill in the blanks, and the subtitles are like for example, they're talking about the enemy aliens or whatever, and they're like Yatsura, right, which means like those bastards. It translates to like those fellows, right? It's like, it's a bit kind of silly. Well, anyhow, Anice Farm is a character from Sonic Soldier Borgman, and I remember hearing about this anime it's like a 1988 or so. This was like around the same time as Zillion. So you got like two guys. One is like a level-headed guy, and one is like a hot-headed guy, and you got like a girl. And just like Zillion, right? But this is more like a Sentai show, and they just fight like kaiju and stuff, and they go into like parallel dimensions or whatever. It's pretty cool. It has never been translated like officially. There are no, like, you can't buy like the Region 1 DVD or anything like that. You can just find fan subs on YouTube, and that's what I've been watching. Anyhow, so I have been kind of familiar with the name Anice Farm for a while, and I got a 1/5 scale sofubi kit, right? 1/5 scale soft vinyl model kit of Anice Farm, version 4, which is she's in a bikini, and I honestly cannot tell you what color her hair is. So I'm colorblind, and her bikini is, well, I mean, like, I understand that this is blue, so this is like maybe blue or like a purplish blue perhaps. Her hair in the anime, I think she has red hair. My eyes can't make sense of that hair color. Anyhow, this is by Kaiyodo. So yeah, this is an official kit. I got this for only 4,000 yen. Now, they had Wonder Festival, they had some resin kits of Anice Farm this year. I don't know if it was winter or summer Wonder Festival, but I've seen those on Yaj, and I'm sorry, Yahoo Auctions Japan. They go for quite a bit. And I got this for 4,000 yen. Nobody else bid on it. So, ready to assemble precision model. So yeah, a lot of people kind of shy away from soft-B kits. You just gotta scrub them really super hard. Hey, this is a Bomi sculpture. Dude, kick ass. That reminds me, there's like a book. Oh man, let's see if I can, next time I go to the book off, I'm gonna see if there was a book on like Bomi sculptures. Like all these soft-B and Gaeki that were made by him. And I should probably pick that up sometime if they still have it. I don't know. It's been a couple years since I've seen it there. Here are all of the parts. Oh, look at that. Alright. Oh, well, you're not going to lose the instructions that way. Alright, so you've got her head and her arms, and the top of her boobs, and that fits into her waist area. Okay, you just gotta cut this off, you don't need that. And then for her arms, you have to do a little bit of putty work. It shows you how to do her eye. That's pretty cool. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that. always have to remember to look into the viewfinder. So let's get a close-up of that. And does it tell me? Okay, yeah, so it says to use putty for her hands. Attaching her hands and her arms, whatever, forearms, using paper, sandpaper, 600 grit, and yeah, that's how you can make it look nice. It says for her left arm, the bracelet. Okay. I guess that's what you see here. Okay. Aluminum tape. It says you can use aluminum tape for her bracelet, and then you're just gonna cover that up completely. That's right, she's got like the Borgman bracelet. I guess that's what she's gonna be wearing. Does it have a completed? No, she's not even wearing a bracelet there. I'll probably just putty it in. I don't want to do a bracelet. Aluminum tape, huh? Interesting. Right now, let's take a look at what's in the bag. Okay, so this is 1/5 scale, so she's going to be the same size as the Devil Hunter Yoko kit, and I recently, somebody offered to buy that off of me. I'm like, she doesn't have an arm. It was stuck in there. I didn't even see that. Jeez. Whew. All right. Yeah, so that's just gonna go like that. Just gonna have to, mask that off carefully, I guess, and then paint her hair. It would have been nicer if her head was separate, but then again, you'd have a seam line around her neck. So yeah, you just have to meticulously mask that off, and then paint her hair separately. So Borgman really knows how to do some neat stuff. I think maybe this kind of got squished a little bit flat. Yeah, that might need to, I'll have to do a test fit when the time comes, but I'm not sure if that totally lines up. It looks like this is kind of wide and kind of squished, right? A warm water soak should fix that rather easily, I believe. So this fits like that, obviously. And you got these awesome long legs here. Very cool. Now, her bikini. So you got this thing in the middle here, and there's like this kind of goes along the edge there a little bit too. So, oh, here we go. So let's see how they show that in the picture. Yep. It just goes like that. Well, there you go. A new sofubi kit for only 4,000 yen. Really cool. Neat. Supplies! So I bought a few new things this month. This is Mystical Color Lasius Aura Scarlet, right? So this is like a pinkish color for, they do this for hair. So Lasius, they do those other colors for skin tones and such, but they also have these other paints for different colors. Like, for example, this is blonde. This is brown. Right, this is copper brown, and this is black hair. And now this is scarlet, right? So I'm going to use this on Kay from Dirty Pear. I'm not yet done with that kit, but here she is. I haven't done her hair yet, so yeah, I think I'll use that. And I should CL110. CL110. Okay. That's that. This also came today. I got all these from Yodobashi Camera. Yeah, so I live in a small town. I do have 2 model shops in my town, which is pretty great. But this kind of stuff I cannot just find at either of those little stores. So there are some things I have to just order. So, golly, look at that. This is a curved hobby blade. That is pretty cool. Now, let's just plug this into here. There we go. Cool, look at that. Nice. Yeah, there have just been some things I wanted to cut, and I wanted to like kind of, you know, saw it, you know, like kind of making a curved cut, and this is kind of make it happen. So yeah, that is really cool. And this is really old and beat up anyway, so I was going to replace the blade. So yeah, very cool, very neat. Now, something else is Kotobukiya modeling support goods. These are normal hands. So these are robot hands in different poses and such. And I saw the Hobby Japan Vintage magazine that I featured in either as like last month or the month before that or something rather. These are a good size for the 1/100 scale Valkyrie kits by RDE. So, because the ones with the RDE, they're just like these big ham fists. They just don't look good at all. You know, like they just kind of like have like these holes, and then like the gun pod just kind of sticks into the hole, and it looks kind of awkward and kind of lousy. And so in that magazine, I'm like, wow, those hands look cool, and I read what they were talking about, and they mentioned this, and this was just re-released, I think in July, I believe. And yeah, so I picked this up. So very cool. I guess you can use this for 1/44 scale Gundams, I guess, too. You know, frame arms or whatever. But they used this for the Valkyrie, and it looked really nice. 3D lamp. There's only like 2,000 yen plus free shipping, and I'm like, I can't resist this. Oh my gosh, it's just too freaking cool. Too freaking cool. Alright, so we can, I guess it's just barely touch sensitive. Has a USB power cable. Let's attach this when you're. Plug this into place here. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now check this out. Da 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 the backside doesn't peel off so easily. What the hell? Huh? Yeah, it's a Starship Enterprise. Star trekking across the universe on the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. Star trekking across the universe, boldly going forward 'cause we can't find reverse. I cannot seem to peel off the back. Oh, I got it. It's working. It's working. Alright, peel this crap off the back. Dun, dun, dun. Peel this crap off the back. Dun, dun. Oh my crap, that's so cool. Yeah, plug this in to yeah. Cool. Cool. Alright, let's plug this in. I have a USB socket adapter thingy. Doohickey. It's just that this thing is kind of short. The cord is a bit short and I'm not happy about that. See, look at that. Ah! Oh my crap, dude. Alright, I need to... It's got some dust on here that needs to be taken off. Oh, that's so cool. So it just phases through the lights. It phases through colors there. Now it's blue and purple. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. That is cool. That's freaking cool. Nice. Alright, I figured that the Enterprise lamp was enough for me. And then I found this on Yahoo Shopping. Now, I was aware of this product before, but I just, I have those other two lamps. These guys over here. Okay. So I was pretty much satisfied with those, and I wasn't planning on getting this guy, but this was like, what was it, like close to 60% off, or something like 58% off, plus free shipping. This was only like 2,000 yen, 2,100 yen or something like that. And yeah, it's another Pac-Man lamp. So this is going to go into the bedroom. And let me open this up and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? Alright, here it is unpacked. Let's take a look at this guy here. So the switch is on the side here. And oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. That is beautiful. I just can't get enough Pac-Man. So you push the button here, and it's, well, that's kind of cool. Little chase sequence there, while Pac-Man remains lit. Let's push it again, and oh my gosh, isn't that cool? Alright, and you turn it off, and then turn it back on, and it's solid again. So, let's get in close. You got Inky, Clyde, and Blinky giving chase to Pac-Man here, and these are LEDs inside, and this is what is it? See, I don't know. It's like it's supposed to. Well, it's supposed to react to music. You see that? Okay. Well, that's cool, I guess. I just leave it on like this. Actually, yeah, I'll just leave it on like this, but it does react to music, apparently. It senses the vibrations or whatever. And there you go. Actually, the ghost that I got over there, I just showed you, that also kind of responds to music, but I never really play music very loudly in here. Especially at night when I have these lamps on because of my neighbor. I don't want to, be annoying or anything. I like to be quiet in my hobby room. So, but anyhow, yeah, this is another lamp, and this is going to go into the bedroom. Isn't that nice? Oh, yes, yay. So if you don't have any music on, it just does this instead. Oh, never mind. And then it turns off. Weird. Well, now, I recently had a couple of new comments from some new subscribers. This is Carl Willows. He says, because I was mentioning to Jairus about me, it really seems like I'm being shadow banned. He said, if it's any consolation, I found your channel just a couple weeks ago when searching for Anice Kit. That was through Google, though, not YouTube directly. I'm sure almost all of the views will be real. Well, okay. There's plenty of good stuff on the channel, and you show off a lot of kits that almost no one else does, in English at least. Yeah, actually, I noticed that. A lot of the kits that I'm working on, I'll do a search on YouTube, and I'll find some Japanese builders, but nobody really doing it in English. Not a whole lot of Macross love out there in English. Everybody does Gundam, I guess. So, this is a comment by Venjorun. Wow, I just stumbled across your page, seeing your old video painting up some metal slug. Gashapon, I think he meant to say. Now YouTube has this popping up on my recommendations. I'm surprised they didn't hide it. I thought you were cool, but I wasn't expecting this level of based. You rock. That was that meme I had posted about the doctors that are, they're pocketing all this money and saying, oh my gosh, I just don't know what's causing all these heart attacks. Tee. What could have possibly caused all of these tons of heart attacks these days? What medical things have been implemented and forced down everybody's throats this past year? Gee, I don't know. What a mystery. Yeah.
Charles in charge of our days and our nights. Charles in charge of our wrongs and our rights. And I see I want Charles in charge of me.
Well, to all of those in the United Kingdom, finally, you no longer have to look upon the United States in envy, saying, gee, I wish we had a raging pedophile in charge of our country.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Are you excited?
I'm looking forward to this, man.
What do you want to do?
Show me something. Come here, man.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Come on, man.
What's your plan here?
Look, this is not... But
You knew she was 13.
No, I didn't.
Well, I've got the transcript right here.
Well, your prayers have been answered, and long live the king, I suppose. Yeah, the same guy who hung out with Lord Mountbatten, infamous pedophile, the same guy who was very, very close with Jimmy Savile, the man who was not only a raging pervert, a pedophile, but also a necrophile as well. Isn't that wonderful? It's really strange how David Icke had his number and was ridiculed for it for quite a long time, but Buckingham Palace never looked into the guy whatsoever, and even the beloved Queen even knighted the man. The Pope was really happy with him as well. And nobody knew about his disgusting behavior except for David Icke. Why is that? The lizard person guy. he had him figured out, but he was allowed to get so close to the royal family all those years. Really interesting. The same guy who had children's shows and all that stuff. The guy in charge of the BBC who covered for him all of those years was a man named Mark Thompson, who covered for his disgusting penchant for buggery and such, and I won't even say what else, but he was a disgusting, depraved degenerate, and Mark Thompson is now in charge of the New York Times, the same New York Times that tells you that pedogate is a conspiracy theory and it's baseless and all that, and also that the Hunter laptop was just Russian disinformation and all that sort of stuff. Oh gosh. Yeah. So obviously, I'm not a fan of Charles. I think he's disgusting, and I would not doubt it if he is the one responsible for Diana's death. I mean, I know the story about Diana was going to expose the royal family, and she was done in. The whole thing was just like, why was she like playing spy hunter in like a tunnel, and like the paparazzi? It's just, that whole story just didn't make sense. I thought it was just bull crap back in the 90s. It just, nothing really made sense about that whatsoever. To the extent of it all being true, I really can't say. All I know is that Charles, I don't trust that guy whatsoever. Disgusting. So, moving away from that topic. Recently I've had this conversation with a couple people, and I think I'll just mention it here. So a lot of people, so there's this term, weeaboo, right? So like for me, I've got like anime posters, on my wall. I live in Japan. Some people might accuse me of being a so-called weeaboo. If assuming you don't know what that means, I have to assume, because I make these videos assuming that people are into the same stuff that I am. I talk about video games, models, and anime and stuff. And of course science fiction. I assume maybe that's probably what the majority of you guys would be interested in as well. Otherwise you get kind of bored listening to me rant about this kind of stuff. A weeaboo is... Okay, so like if you are into anime or something or other, that doesn't mean you're a weeaboo. There's a difference between like being a Japanophile and being a weeaboo, right? Vincent van Gogh was a bit of a Japanophile. Frank Lloyd Wright was a Japanophile. There's a lot of like really, really famous people who are Japanophiles. Really, all it means is someone who really loves Japan and really appreciates the aesthetics and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I would not recommend. I would say that I am a Japanophile. Okay, I've been so since junior high. I studied Japanese history. Really knocked me out, and that's just led to why I'm here now. So Japanophile is someone who has a deep appreciation for the history and the culture and all that sort of stuff. Probably somebody who's interested in like various aspects, whether it's like bonsai or like a tea ceremony, or the fine arts, or even just like the pop arts as well. But someone who looks at the whole country as a whole, right? And has an appreciation for the country. Of course, you have to take the good and take the bad and put together, and that's how you have the facts of life. But it's good to have a healthy love-hate relationship with something, right? Japanophile, yeah, that's okay. A weeaboo is someone who claims to love Japan, but their concept of the country is filtered almost exclusively through like anime, manga, and video games. And in the end, they really have no concept of the real culture whatsoever. They look at stuff in anime or whatever, and they think that's the way Japan really is, right? That's just not the case at all, right? Like, shit. I mean, like, for example, like, you look at the way anime girls run, they kind of like, you know, they do like their arms like that when they run. Nobody really runs like that in Japan. It's just an anime thing, and they just do that to kind of like try to convey some sort of like feeling of that person's personality. You know, just like how they have like different colored hair in anime and stuff like that. You would think watching anime that anybody can just get into a school at any time of day or night and do whatever they want. No, right? You can see that in like Cardcaptor Sakura or like Orange Road. You're like, oh hey, you know, we're at school and it's like, you know, like past 8 or 9 p.m. or whatever. No, right? Or like go up on the roof of the school, or like you could see that in Whispers of the Heart, or like all these other different shows. In the 22 years experience that I have with Japan, and actually, you know, going back 22 years to when I first started working in schools in Japan, the maybe it was so in the 80s, perhaps, I don't know, but the roof, that those doors are like locked at all times. You can't just go up on the roof. Anyhow, so they like to, like, they might know maybe like a handful of Japanese words, and they throw them around ad nauseam. A Japanophile, if they first arrive in Japan, they're like, oh wow, this is so cool, you know, it's such an adventure, right? A weeaboo, when they arrive in Japan, they would be like, greetings, citizens of Japan. I have come, and fear not, for I am one of you. Behold, I embrace the traditional Japanese arts of cosplay, and therefore I expect you to embrace me as one of your own in your society, and I'll have you know that I love manga and anime and video games as well. You know, here I am, embrace me. I would say that the vast majority of weeaboos never actually come to Japan. If they do, they might visit only. Those who, if they even get as far as getting a job in Japan, a lot of them seem to not last more than a year. They might get disillusioned because Japan is not the way they have this weird concept and built up in their mind, which is not based on reality whatsoever. That you have a conversation about Japan with them, and all they do is just resort to what they know about from, like, you know, comic books or whatever, and they're just rather silly people. So I see a lot of people, they might refer to themselves as a weeb or a weeaboo and stuff, and like, guys, you were totally not. Weeaboo are like, they're their own category of people. They're very bizarre. So, I have had a bit of pain all summer long, and it's been in my arm here. Now, I had shown before, I've been reading a book called The Great Cholesterol Con by Dr. Malcolm Kendrick, and He is a Scottish doctor. He has like that real, like a UK sense of humor to him. The book is not at all dry. It's rather entertaining, very interesting. This guy exposes how the whole notion that cholesterol is bad for you, particularly LDL cholesterol, that it is a total farce. And a lot of these studies they've had their findings fraudulently kind of misconstrued, and like three of the four largest studies were the responsibility of one man, and I can't remember the name. I don't have the book with me right now, and I'm too lazy to go in the other room. I just want to hurry up and finish this video here, but get that book. It's very interesting. So I've been reading that kind of off and on, just like when I'm in the waiting room at my orthopedic doctor. And yeah, so I usually, when I have my annual health check, in the past, when I was younger, it would say that my LDL levels were too high, and then I'd go to my clinic and have it tested, and they said, no, actually you're fine. But lately, it's like even when I go to the clinic, it also says that it's too high. And so even though I've been reading that book, and I'm learning how it is a bunch of butt crud, and that cholesterol, whether it's HDL or LDL, it's not that big of a deal. In fact, having low LDL, it is an indicator that there might be something gravely wrong with you. You don't want to have low LDL. And what is it? It's rather lipoprotein is what it stands for. It's actually, it protects your body. There's nothing bad about it whatsoever. And the book, basically, he says that heart attacks are caused by stress, not by cholesterol levels. Cholesterol actually protects you. Anyhow, yeah, very interesting reading that book. It's just really, really fascinating. I really enjoy reading it. I'm almost done with it after all these months. But starting in May, I started taking red yeast rice, or red rice yeast, or whatever, however you want to say it. And it is a natural statin. A statin is the type of drug that would lower your LDL levels, okay? And I was taking that, thinking, well, you know, it's, even though I don't really care about LDL, if I can lower it, then if I can make my doctor shut up, because I've already told her I'm not taking any medicine, then at least maybe she'll shut up for a while. I was taking that, and actually I had taken it in the past, and it never really hurt me. But this summer I developed like really, really bad nerve pain and tendonitis, like tennis elbow, right here, and like just, it was really, really bad, and I was in pain. And I will say that vitamin B12, like active B12, is really good for nerves, and I think L-carnitine as well, and I was taking that a lot, and I'm finally having relief, because at night I would wake up and my arm was in pain. And, you know, I've been going to my orthopedic doctor like at least once or twice a week for quite a while now. And I stopped that. I stopped taking red yeast rice like in mid-August. Yeah, mid-August. About the time that I recorded the previous video. And so I know my demographic for these videos. Most of you guys are older. You know, there's not a whole lot of people in their 20s who watch my stupid crap. If your doctor is pushing you to get on Lipitor or any of these other statins to lower your LDL, I would really, really recommend reading that book. It has really opened my eyes a lot. And, like, for example, this like really hits home to me. He mentions about, like, in Japan, over the past several decades, as meat consumption has risen, the incidence of, like, heart attacks has declined. It's like an inverse relationship, kind of like you know, like an X. Rather interesting. So, yeah, just so much of this is just going into this whole, you know, great awakening, I guess. You hear that a lot these days. But, yeah, I mean, I have learned a lot about medicine as a result of all of this, this tyranny that's been going on. Really, really weird stuff. But, yeah, look into it. Again, the book is The Great Cholesterol Con by Dr. Malcolm Kendrick. And I looked on Barnes & Noble. They have another book of his, but they don't have that one. And I bought mine on Amazon. And again, I don't like buying anything with Amazon, but if I have no choice, then I will. Get that book. It's not a dry read at all. It's actually his humor, his you know, the British type of humor, is really nice, and I like it. It's really fun read. So pick it up, definitely. And if you're on statins, really pay attention, because the way he mentions in the book, there's like, oh, well, you know what, everybody has a hard time sleeping. Oh, you know what, everybody has, like, you know, aches and pains. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The doctors these days have, you know what, let me get that book for you. Hold on a second. All right. I promise you this is not going to be boring here. Okay, he said that 30 years ago, even, well, I think the book was written in the mid 2000s or so. No one knew that cholesterol had anything to do with brain function. This despite the fact that the brain contains over 25% of the total amount of cholesterol in the body, and over 2% of the total weight of the brain is cholesterol. However, it has more recently been discovered that if you want the brain to function, this requires cholesterol. A group of researchers led by Dr. Frank Freiger was looking into the function of glial cells in the brain. It was known that these support cells had a critical role in the function of synapses. Glial cells, it was also known, released a substance that allowed synapses to form and function. Without this substance, your brain would be almost entirely useless. And what was this fantastic miracle substance? Yes, the magic ingredient was good old deadly cholesterol. Without cholesterol, the chemical scourge of mankind, your brain cannot form synapses, and you can't think properly or remember anything. See, I told you he's funny. He puts these little goofy jokes in there. But yeah, it's really interesting. Low cholesterol levels lead to reduced serotonin levels in the brain. Talks about low cholesterol may indicate risk of suicide, neurological abnormalities, polyneuropathy, facial weakness, difficulty in walking, muscle damage, nerve damage, like what I had, liver damage, right? That's why you have to use like the CoQ10, and a lot of, like, for example, the red yeast rice, that herbal supplement comes with CoQ10 quite often. And yeah, very interesting. So on page 174, get this. This is really cool. I need to change the battery. Hold on. All right, now get this. And think beyond what just this passage is talking about. Think about like, what's been going on for the past couple of years, or at least a year and a half or so, that we've been dealing with. Here, listen to this. Vioxx, the arthritis drug, was estimated to have been linked to more than 100 100,000 deaths in the USA in 2 years, and no one even noticed. The fatal effects of Vioxx were only picked up coincidentally as part of a major trial to see if this drug could protect against bowel cancer. Alright? The impact on mortality was noted and highlighted by a rather heroic employee of the FDA, Dr. David Graham, for his efforts in protecting the safety of the public. He was smeared in the press and ruthlessly attacked. Yeah, he was an FDA whistleblower. Okay? Now, luckily, a certain Senator, Chuck Grassley, got involved in the case, and he wrote a letter to the acting commissioner at the FDA at the time to protect this man. So, the thing is like, there's just so much that goes on, right? These doctors, I'm not saying that they're all bad people, okay? What I'm saying, though, is like, especially past their graduation, their continuing education comes from these pharmaceutical companies. And they just rely on what they're being told, and they just assume it as being true. And so it's almost kind of cult-like, almost, right? And then if you can do your own research and what you come up with is contradictory to what your doctor assumes to be true, then they have this, you know, they might lash out, right? They're really uncomfortable with that, and like they're like, you know, internally they're thinking like, well, I spent all this money and all this effort to become a doctor, and here you are, you know, you didn't do what I had to go through to get where I am right now, so, you know, therefore you don't know what you're talking about, etc. Right? They have this, you know, like, I shouldn't have to be corrected by a layman who doesn't know, even, you know, hasn't like a PhD like I have or whatever. So yeah, they get kind of crappy about that kind of thing. So, but there's just so many different side effects going on, and they don't have the time to, like, you know, correlate. And this Vioxx, and I remember Vioxx. I remember the commercials for this. It was like in the early 2000s or so, I believe. And yeah, it says right here, over 100,000 people died, and they just weren't making the connections at all. Okay? Now think about, in light of the past, 18 months or beyond that, going on 2 years now. I won't say what, because I think I might put this video on YouTube or whatever, but yeah, that should get your gears in your brain moving, I would hope. So, you don't know what'll happen later on. You know, once you start something new like that, you don't know what's going on. And what he's saying, the point in this book is what he's talking about here, is that a drug could potentially kill hundreds of thousands of people without anybody noticing. You may think that this must be impossible. There have to be agencies out there monitoring this sort of thing on a day-to-day basis, combing through the statistics with a fine-tooth comb. Not so. And anyway, how could they? Drug safety is supposed to be fully established in the clinical trial process. Once a drug is out there in the community, it could wipe out thousands unnoticed, just like Vioxx. And it took one FDA whistleblower who saw what was happening when the same drug was being used for something completely different, and then he happened to catch it, and then look what happened to him. As a whistleblower, he was persecuted, and it took Senator Charles Grassley to do something about it. Trust Grassley, right? If you have heard that before, you're cool. Yeah, so crazy, man. Breakdown of skeletal muscle, your muscle dissolves away, kidney failure, You start doing your homework, guys. This is the book right here, The Great Cholesterol Con. I cannot recommend this more. It's a really interesting book, and yeah, I'm like finally at the end. It looks like basically what he says, what causes is stress, and there's no measurements for stress, right? It's not like something like totally empirical, like looking at LDL levels or whatever. It's a lot more elusive. So I haven't finished the book yet, but yeah, keep your stress levels down. And I will say, start stocking up on food. I've got a bit. You know, this. Hopefully, we'll get over this crap that's going on in the world. But start stocking up. I mean, I've probably got, if I stretch it, maybe a month. I need to get more than that. I've been buying canned food. I've been buying like spaghetti. You know, like my in-laws, we get rice from them. So, I mean, if we're gonna starve, maybe we can pace ourselves and do so, I guess. But yeah, the World Economic Forum should be classified as a terrorist organization, and more and more people are waking up to that, though, and which is really, really great. Very happy to see that. So yeah, the more and more people need to find out about this. Too many normies, like my coworkers, just totally oblivious. They just trust blindly what the news tells them. So anyhow, I guess that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. So thanks for watching. If you've watched to the end, let me know, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.